So you may not be super into sports, but I'm gonna give you two examples of two like sports legends who just practice better than anybody, and their story really shows this. And it's a good mindset to have whenever you're going into your practices for whatever goal you want to achieve, whatever skill you're trying to build. But the first one is Jerry Rice. He's basically one of the best wide receivers. He's in like the argument like top two between him and one other wide receiver. But there's a story that I read about Jerry Rice where whenever he was practicing, anytime at practice, whenever he was running a route in football, anytime he caught the ball, he ran to the end zone. No matter what. You know, most wide receivers during practice are going to catch the ball and then trot back to the quarterback because the play's over. It's practice. You don't need to get the touchdown. But Jerry Rice, every time he would catch the ball, he'd run to the end zone and get a touchdown because he wanted to practice how he would play. And that's the mindset you need to have whenever you're practicing. Practice how you want to play. For me, I do jiu-jitsu, so I practice that pretty often. So whenever I'm in class and I'm wrestling people, rolling people, I need to roll like I'm like serious about it. I want to win. I don't want to just like kind of go through the motions and not actually get anything out of it. I want to do it how I would do it in a real scenario. Obviously not hurt somebody, but you get what I'm saying. The fact that he would catch the ball and run to the end zone even though not shit mattered, like it didn't matter if he did that or not, is insane. Like imagine doing that. You have to be obsessed with your goal to do that because his idea is if I can do it in practice every time, whenever I'm in the game, I'm going to get this shit done. I'm going to get the touchdown in the game too. And, you know, honestly, I'm sure that it probably annoyed his teammates because they had to wait for him to get there and then come all the way back. But think about how dedicated you have to do a practice like that. That's just awesome. Another example is Michael Jordan. You probably heard the story of Michael Jordan, how he failed to make his sophomore team. I think it was his sophomore year of high school. He failed to make the team in basketball. And then he ended up becoming the greatest fucking basketball player of all time, arguably. I think LeBron's better, but you know that's just my take. Arguably, he became the best basketball player of all time because he just kept practicing and practicing. He stayed consistent with it, and it was his goal, so he became obsessed with it. So those are two very different, like ways of going about practicing. But you got on the one hand, be extreme about it. Practice how you want to play. Do it with sincerity and really practice. Another one's just longevity. Just don't let setbacks deter you from your goal. Just keep on grinding through it because you can always get better. Michael Jordan could have quit there during his sophomore year of high school and just never played basketball again and just been upset about it. But instead, he kept practicing and became one of the greats. So those are two fantastic stories from sports legends that you can integrate into whatever your goal is and however you're practicing, and you can just kind of mimic that and do it to however it can evolve in your sport, skill, whatever it is. Another good thing to mention for practicing this is a reference for the gym because I've been working out for like 6 years. And speaking of which, if you're interested in some online training, I do that. There's a link in the description. But anyway, besides that, back to the video. But in regards to the gym, there's a concept in the gym called time under tension. And it's not just something to do with the gym, but it's something I learned through the gym. And what time under tension is, it's basically putting yourself in a tense situation. And in regard to the gym, what it is, it's like the longer you're under the weight and you have the weight on the muscle, the more the muscle's going to grow. Right, so if I'm bench pressing, and if I have my arms fully locked out, the tension's gone from my chest. But if I'm just keeping it going, I don't go all the way, but I get close to the top, and I keep going, the weight stays on my chest. So it's building the muscle more, it's time under tension. But in regards to practicing a skill, whatever your skill is, again, just the more you do it and the harder you make it, the better you're gonna get. So say you wanna be a runner. You're training to do a marathon, so you're practicing that. The harder you run, the more you push past your limits, the better you're gonna be. The closer you're going to get to your goal, you're going to just improve more that way. The longer you stay under the tension, the better. Again, I'll go back to jiu-jitsu because I've been practicing that. Whenever I'm rolling with somebody, if they have me in like a super uncomfortable position, like it's just awful. I'm not like about to be submitted or anything. It's like all this weight's on my chest, I can barely breathe. But it's not something I have to tap to. I just sit in the discomfort because it's like I can withstand it, so there's no point in tapping. If you can withstand it, don't stop what you're doing. Stay there because it's going to make you better overall. You're going to improve quicker. Your mindset's going to go. You're going to get more discipline. And it's just going to help you overall with your goal. So remember, time under tension. And don't copy others either. Copying others, it can work to an extent, especially whenever you're first starting. Once you're improving in your skill, don't see somebody who's good and try to steal from them what they do best. You have your own unique traits. For me, again, I'll go back to jiu-jitsu because I keep talking about that because it's something I'm doing. But for jiu-jitsu, I have I'm strong, but my limbs are short. I have short arms, I have short legs. And I have a friend who got me into it. He's like 6'4" and he's very wide. So the shit that he does to me, I shouldn't be doing that because it works differently. Like he can do stuff with his legs because his legs are way longer than mine. but I could try to do it, but it'd be way harder for me. So I need to find something that works best for me. There's other moves that have like shorter arms are better. You know what I'm saying? So find what's best for you and your unique trait, whatever it is for your skill. Don't obsess over like somebody in basketball could try to completely mimic Michael Jordan's talents and his main traits, but they need to really find what's best for them. Like imagine if Steph Curry, arguably again one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time, tried to copy Michael Jordan's game. You know what I'm saying? Like that just wouldn't make sense. They have two different builds. They have two different play styles. Find your own style for whatever the skill is, and find your strong suits and focus on those. And another thing, whatever your skill is, don't fall into routine, right? So it's good to practice something over and over again to become like masterful at it, right? But don't fall into this trap of only focusing on one thing. Kind of have like a variety of things to learn, because eventually doing the same thing over and over is going to cap out, or it'll either cap out and you won't improve anymore, or you're going to be making such micro gains that it won't even really matter. Like say you're grinding out this one move for like a super long time, right? The beginning it's going to look like this, but as you get better and better, it's going to start slowly coming more to a straight line, and the improvements will be more micro than macro. So don't get stuck in the same thing. Have variety. Try to learn a bunch of new things to improve on and get better and better over time. But to put it simply, you can't become great at something without expecting to practice it over and over again and finding your own strengths and ways to continuously improve. You need to find your own ways to do things and just keep on grinding. Keep on doing what you're doing and become better over time. But this is just something I've been like invested in, because again, for jiu-jitsu, I've been kind of stagnant. I've been trying to get better. So I've been looking into ways to practice better. And these are ways that I've found. I hope it's useful for anybody who's practicing the skill or trying to get better at something. But yeah, I make videos about self-improvement, how I improve myself, how you can improve yourself, kind of things on mental health as well, and philosophy. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe. If you have anything to add to this topic, please leave a comment. I'd like to know, I'd like to hear your thoughts. But besides that, if you have any goals, go out and make that shit happen, boys. See you in the next one.